Hi there guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose. Today I'm going to talk about my first ever trip to Liverpool. I went there yesterday and I had to leave my flat about just after 6 o'clock. So I got up fairly early, got showered, got dressed and took the tube there. And it took me I think it took about 40 minutes on the tube to Euston. So when I got to Euston, I got to the ticket office and the lady said you literally got 5 minutes to purchase a ticket to Liverpool, which wasn't cheap. I'm not really going to disclose how much I paid, but I paid enough. But however, it was well worth the trip. The trip took about 2 hours and 20 minutes, so I got the 7:45 train and I arrived there just after 10 o'clock. It was a fast train. So when I purchased my ticket, I got a really lovely lady who helped me. She says to me, if you pay to return, because I was returning on the same day, she goes, if you paid to return, it will cost me more. So she suggested, to purchase the single ticket there and the single ticket back, which she did on the same transaction. So that actually saved me. So I literally had to, from there, I had to leg it to the platform. So when I got to the platform, the lady who was like the guard there, and she says to me, I'm sorry, you can't come yet because the train's going to be leaving in 2 minutes. Everyone's boarded. Thankfully, there was a guard there who's obviously her colleague, and he says to me, no, come on, let them through, come on, just let them through. And so that was great, that was good. So I would have I don't know how long I'd have to wait for the next train, but if I hadn't got that train, obviously I wouldn't have much time in Liverpool, and I would have got there quite late. So anyway, on the train, it's really nice, the trains. I went by Avanti trains, and it was nicely air conditioned, thankfully, because it was quite a hot day. And as I sat down, all the windows had these slide blinds that came down, which was nice and cool. Anyway, I got off at Lime Street Station, and as I was walking towards the exit, I saw Ken Dodd's statue. So I took a couple of pictures of that and made my way out. But my first port of call was to Brookside Close. So I had to make my way to Queen Square bus station, which was about a 5-minute walk opposite where I was coming from. So I got the 12 bus. It's 2 buses that go there. It's the 12 or 13 bus, which is about a 40-minute journey. And you had to get off at Daysbrook Lane, where Tesco, which was opposite. And the walk there down Daysbrook Lane is I'd say it was about an 8-10 minute walk. Wasn't that far. And it's a second on the left. So you had to follow the road round, which is another 2-minute walk. And Brookside Close was there. And as I'm walking really excitedly, the adrenaline was really pumping me to get there. I'm going to show you a 2-minute clip, and I took a 2-minute clip, which was cut off briefly, and I apologise for that. The reason being is there's residents there, so you had to really respect their privacy, and I don't want to be too intrusive either. So as I was taking the video, there was a lady mowing her lawn, and I actually politely asked her, if I could sort of have a look around and take a few photos, which she said was really fine. So as I was taking my video, there was this van coming around. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to cut this really short. And followed by that van was a young family. Well, I say a young family. It was a mother and her 2 children. And she pulled up outside next to the Grant's house. And I was amazed because on my video I even mentioned on there how small the close is. And in a way, I was kind of hoping I might have met one of the cast. It could have been, would it have been like a sort of some sort of odds? So maybe if I'm lucky enough, if I do a trip to Brookside Close, I might meet someone. Who knows? I don't know. I doubt if I'd ever be that lucky. Anyway, after what was about 15 minutes, I took a trip back to the city, and it was really hot, and I was getting so it was so thirsty. I was so thirsty, and I decided to take a visit to the Cavern Club and use my GPS, my sat nav. I don't know if the GPS was having a joke with me, but everywhere I was like walking to, it was taking me in the wrong direction. So I had to ask a couple of people where the Cavern Club was. When I eventually got there, it's situated in Matthew Street. And as I was walking to the Cavern Club, I was noticing a few people taking photos of Cilla Black's statue or selfies or whatever. And I took a couple of pictures myself as well, which I want to show you. I got talking to this guy, and he's telling me the history of the Cavern Club, and he was telling me the history of the Beatles, blah, blah, blah. And he was saying, oh, the Cavern Club that's there is not the original one. The Cavern Club, the original one, where the Beatles started out in the early 60s, was just around the corner from there. And I was listening to him say, oh, yeah, trying to look interested, because really I wanted to get in there, cool myself off and have a lovely drink. He was really nice, don't get me wrong. I didn't want to be rude. I'm not a rude person. So I was listening. I was saying, oh, yeah, and all that. So I went to the Cavern Club eventually, and I had to pay £6 to get in. And you had to walk about, I don't know, 5 or 6 flights of stairs just to get down there, which is like short flights of stairs, which is probably like the equivalent of walking down to a Wetherspoon toilet. So as I arrived there, I ordered myself a lovely cool, which is my poison, by the way, a Guinness and blackcurrant, a pint of it. It was that hot. So I ordered my drink, and I went round the corner and sat down. In the background, you could hear this guy singing one of these sort of 60s type Mersey beat type songs and that. So I wasn't really taking much notice. So where I sat was a little bit quieter, and as I was looking around, there was like there's these exhibits, So I thought, oh, curiosity got the better of me, and there I made my video there, a very brief video. And the first thing I came across was Jerry and the Pacemakers. And they had like their guitar there. And as I was panning around, I came across, of all people, of all groups, should I say, it was, oh yeah, that's it, the Arctic Monkeys, and they had a signed guitar there as well. And they played there in October 2005. Then I took a few more photos. I took a photo. There was this really lovely picture of the Beatles there, which is like a huge pencil drawing. I took a photo of that. After a while, I was getting hungry, and I went back upstairs, and I went to the Beatles Museum, and I purchased a bag here. Oops, sorry. And there I purchased this Beatles bag here. I don't know if you can see that. But this bag has all their song titles on there. And I paid £20 for that. And then I bought my partner a Beatles keyring. I was about to go into the museum thinking it was going to be free. Unfortunately, I had to pay £20. I didn't go in, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to come back and do that, and I might even do that with my partner. So after that, I went to lunch, and I went to Flanagan's and had fish and chips there, which is a really nice little pub. Took a long time for me to get it. You know, like when you see like the waiter walking around with people's food, you think, oh great, my food is coming. Well, it's, oh my God, I was so hungry at that time, you know. But I didn't say anything. I mean, it was well worth the wait, and it's quite a big portion of fish and chips, and it had like this really beautiful mushy peas in the pot and that. I've had mushy peas in the past when I've tried my local takeaway, and their one is like pea soup. And I had, on the side, I had the tartar sauce as well. So after that, I decided to make my journey back to London, which took 3 hours, and it was supposed to be in a short train. I got the train about 3:45 from Lime Street back to Euston, and the reason why it took longer is because the heat on the tracks and that, you know, so they had to, I don't know what happens to the tracks. Does it warp? I don't know what happens anyway. So I got back at Euston just before, when was it? I think it was just before 7 o'clock, about 10 to 7. And as I got back there, Euston was absolutely packed to the rafters. I've never seen so many people at the train station in my life. Because I take regular trips to my daughter from Waterloo Station. She lives in Portsmouth. I've never seen it that crowded. Normally when I come out, yes, it is quite packed and that, but I can normally get quite quickly back to the tube station, back home. So now I'm going to show a few clips of my trip here. One's going to be of the Brookside Close, and one's going to be of the Cavern Club. So I'd like to say thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you later. Bye.